So again, if we do a quick Punnett square, and we have a heterozygous condition coding with a heterozygous combination, okay, if meiosis has happened and that is in a gamete and that is in a gamete, we still have blood group A as the phenotype, okay? And that is not the phenotype that we are looking for in the child. If we have that and that combining, we have one dominant and one recessive gene coding for blood group A as well. This is going to give us also a heterozygous condition, okay? It is still phenotypically going to code for blood group A. But here is where our answer lies. If the recessive gene from the mom and the recessive gene from the dad come together, there you have been able to prove that if parents with a heterozygous condition coding for blood group A have children together, there are actually 3 possible genotypes. There is that one, those 2 are the same, and here we have our 3rd one. This child can then obviously be a possibility. If we just take one more scenario, okay, and we have a look, if let's say the mom is heterozygous, okay, and we have a dad that is homozygous, okay, for blood group A, which is what they've told us in the beginning. Let's have a look if it will be possible for these parents to have a child with blood group O, okay. Here you have 2 dominant characteristics, so that child will have blood group A. Here you have a dominant and a recessive blood group coming together, or an allele coming together. So genotypically it is different, but phenotypically both of those are coding for blood group A. If we look at this combination, we have 2 dominant genes coding together. Okay, it's going to also code for blood group A, as is that. So even though genotypically those 2 are the same and genotypically those 2 are the same, which means genotypically we have a 1-to-1 chance of a child either having the homozygous condition or the heterozygous condition, do you see that it is impossible for those parents to code for a child which has blood group O? Because the only way to have blood group O is to have both of the recessive genes together, which is not a possibility. So if you used this, okay, as your parent's genotype, and you had them both having a heterozygous condition, then you are only able to say they do have the possibility of having a child which is biologically theirs with blood group O. Okay, because here the 2 recessive genes have come together. The next question that they give us says a mother and child both have blood type AB, represent a genetic cross to show why the father cannot have blood type O. Okay, so if a mother and a child both have blood type AB, let's have a look why the father cannot have blood type O. Okay, so we know from the outset the mother has blood type AB, okay, and they are saying to us, if the father is blood group O and the child is blood group AB, the mom and the child are the same, explain why this is not possible for the father to have that as a genotype and for him and her to produce a child with that blood type. So again, let's have a look. If the mom has that as her genotype, okay, she has a heterozygous condition, and remember, here are 2 alleles, which is why this is an example of codominance. A and B are not dominant over each other, which is why they code for a 4th phenotype. If the dad has blood type O, it means he has both recessive genes. So what do we know about complete dominance? Okay, and this is a very nice example of both. There's an example of codominance, and then when we are looking at the A and the B in relation to the O, we're going to be looking at complete dominance. When these 2 alleles join, okay, and combine. That codes for the phenotype of blood group A. If that one and that one combine, it's going to code for blood group B, because there's one dominant and one recessive condition. The B is going to be dominant over the O, and the same happens over here. The A is going to be dominant over the O. But if we look at this code, we see that the same happens. That is going to phenotypically code for blood group A, and this is going to also code for the phenotype of blood group B. So what we can see is, if that is the known genotype of the mom, okay, which is the same as the phenotype, and if the child's genotype, and in this case phenotype, is known, okay, there is no way that this father, if he has that blood type, can be the father of a child that has blood group AB. He has got the recessive genes, which means the mother's dominant genes are always going to be dominant over those recessive O genes, okay, which means that that cannot be the father of a child with blood group AB if the mother has the same blood type. Okay. And then the third thing which they speak about, which we have kind of looked at already, how effective is blood typing in determining parentage? Explain your answer. That comes back to our page over here, okay, where we said that paternity testing is not going to be proven by only looking at blood types. Okay, what you're going to have to do is use something else to prove paternity, to disprove, okay, to disprove paternity. It is enough to use the blood grouping system, okay, because then you are able to say, if a mother has a certain blood type and a father has a certain blood type, then what we can say is it might be impossible for them to have a child with blood group A. If the mother's paternity is proven and, if the mother's DNA is proven and known and her maternity linking to this child is certain, and we know for sure what the child's genetic composition is and what their blood type is, then we can say, okay, it is impossible for that man to be the father based on blood typing. But like we said, it is not enough to prove paternity. What you're going to have to do there is you're going to have to actually do a DNA test. You're going to have to take a DNA sample. You're going to have to go into the nucleus, okay, of that child and of that man, and you're going to have a look at the correlation between the DNA of both, okay, which is going to link to DNA profiling, okay, and DNA fingerprinting, which we're going to have a look at in the second session.